Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick update on my experience with the Lenovo Thinkvision M14t. For those of you that missed my unboxing, this is a brand new portable monitor from Lenovo, 14 inches, full HD, 10 points of multi-touch input. It comes with an active pen, over 4,000 levels of pressure sensitivity, and it can operate both in landscape and portrait mode. It has USB-C power pass-through, so essentially right now I've got a 65-watt charger powering the display, and then I have it connected to my Galaxy Z Fold 2, which, if you think about it, makes a lot of sense because as a Note user, I don't have pen input anymore with my Galaxy Z Fold 2. But with this portable monitor, that gap has been bridged. Now, is the experience as good as it would be with the S Pen on something like the Note 20 right over here? Absolutely not. But I think it's definitely good in a pinch and far more versatile than any portable monitor out there, because even if you don't plan on using touchscreen or pen input, you've got it. So I have Autodesk Sketchbook open right now. The Fold 7.6-inch internal display, as you can see, is being used as a touchpad, which is incredibly cool. Unfortunately, the single-side leather case makes this wobble, but in a perfect world, which we'll get there eventually, the case will make the entire thing flush, and this will just be a 7.6-inch touchpad. And the beauty is that the Fold, second gen, even first gen, is really a computer in your pocket. Of course, not running Windows. But remember, with using a device like this, you will need dedicated power. But the good news is the pass-through is there, and it will charge your phone simultaneously. So right now in DeX mode, I've got Sketchbook open, and the actual hinge that allows you to change, essentially position, so you can put this how you want. It's not weighted or anything, so you have to be aware of that. It will move on you when you're drawing. Some sensitivity here in terms of giving you an idea of how the multi-touch works on this. It works fairly well. A lot of people, when they saw the unboxing, were saying, hello, you could just get a Wacom product. And yes, you could, but that's not who I feel Lenovo is targeting here. And I can tell you that also based on the pen performance, because while it functions, it's far from perfect. And you can see right now, latency, I could blame this on the Galaxy Z Fold 2, and because I have seen that performance with the when connecting this to, for example, my HP X360 13T, the Spectre, it is better. And but the point here is that you do have, like right there, you saw it wasn't producing anything, but the latency's there. And that's why I said this is not going to be the equivalency of inking on a Note device or a Tab S7 Plus. But if you just want to take general notes, and I believe that's exactly what it's designed for, this is, in my opinion, in no way, shape, or form really targeting artists, because that's Wacom's, that's their space. It does give now professionals another option for a portable display where they can realistically take some notes, even if you see it's missing some things. My handwriting is totally illegible. So, again, I'm going to say that a lot of this has to do with the performance of the Z Fold. When I move quickly, it seems to work well, but when I try to do finite writing, that's where I see things kind of fall apart. But at any rate, you already see inking works, but again, it's not its forte. And I'm not saying they're not pitching it as being a forte, because after all, they are selling it as not just touchscreen, but over 4,000 levels of pressure sensitivity. So keep that in mind. But it does make for a very cool mobile setup. Now, more importantly, what I think is the better function here than what we're looking at is just using it as a portable monitor. So now, with DeX, I do have access to essentially jump online, check any of my apps, emails. I am in airplane mode right now just to make sure this video doesn't get interfered with by any friends or family, because there's a lot of breaking news these days, as many of you already know. But instantly, you've got that ability to turn your phone into, at least if it's a Samsung device with DeX capability, into a desktop OS system. So very versatile. I got to spend some more time with it. I want to make sure that I'm not doing something wrong with the pen input, because that latency there, like I said, I didn't have that when I was using Sketchbook on Windows. So it may be a limitation of the Z Fold 2. I don't want to throw the M14t under the bus. But again, this is a really versatile display. It does a lot. Just remember, if you're going to use it with an Android device like this, you will need dedicated power. A lot of portable displays will at least let you function with low brightness. Another thing I want to show you is the actual UI. That's another thing which you got with the Thinkvision M14 before it, but you can see they actually have a Windows versus Android and Chrome, because this does support Chromebooks as well, Chrome OS. So you can switch in between touch support, so it will intelligently identify and understand which operating system you're using. Low blue light switch, wake on touch, auto rotation, because again, if you put this in portrait, you know, you're coding, you've got that ability, which I think is great versatility from this. And that's why I think this is so unique. So even if the pen input doesn't end up being the best pen input experience, again, this is not aimed at taking out Wacom and making digital artists happy. It's more for business professionals, in my opinion, having the ability to have pen input, where on their ThinkPads, they traditionally would not have that input. That's what I see in this offering. And then, of course, brightness control right here, which right now I'm not able to adjust. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. I know I cranked it up earlier. Contrast below it, and then advanced settings. You can see we have overdrive, which I have set to normal. Your display mode, because you can actually select between sRGB, bluish, neutral, reddish. So it's really up to you. I personally would stick with sRGB, and then your language, and then of course factory reset. So nothing crazy, but again, I've looked at so many of these portable monitors, and a lot of them are just fine. None of them are quite as special as this guy, because they just can't do all of these things. So again, I'm going to work a little bit more on that pen input. Web browsing, as you can imagine, is what you would expect. And I'll save that for my final review, but I just wanted to give you a quick look at this, because in the unboxing, I really didn't touch on anything. And I am really impressed with this, because the prospect of this being a complementary product, not only to a laptop, but also something like the Fold, which is, again, basically computer power in your pocket, and then having a giant touchpad, this could be an ideal pairing, depending on what your expectations are, though, of pen input, which, again, I'm going to make sure that I'm not doing something wrong. But just wanted to give you, again, an update on the Thinkvision M14t, which I am really impressed with. It isn't perfect, but there's nothing else like it on the market at its price point, other than going to something like a Wacom product, which is not as versatile when it comes to connectivity. They require HDMI input. I mean, all sorts of crap, a dedicated power supply, unlike this, which will work off of Type-C or be driven by the device you hook it up to. So really versatile, really interesting, not perfect, but I'm going to play with it some more before we get to final impressions. I don't want you to think this was the end of the show. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. Hit that like button. And as usual, please feel free to subscribe, and please stay safe. Later.